Casual family, welcome to CWC Daily for April 14th, 2025. We've got a fun show for you guys today. It is WrestleMania week, and we have a full schedule of content coming out your way for the next 7 days. That's 7 days straight of CWCD content with 2 special WrestleMania in reviews over the weekend. But tonight, first, Becky Lynch is done wrestling. CM Punk and Triple H don't agree on creative, and Gail Kim is part of the IWC. I am your host, the Notorious D, joined once again by the Queen of Casual. Level up, Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
You guys know the drill. One big topic, some Discord field chaos, and all the headlines that actually matter. If you're feeling the energy, then show some love. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Pull up into the Casual Wrestling Discord. No gatekeeping, no fluff, just raw, unfiltered wrestling talk. If you have a hot take, drop it in the comments. Slide into the Discord or shoot us an email at questions@casualwrestling.com. And oh yeah, the Casual Wrestling merch store is now officially live. Fresh new gear in the store. I will tell you about that at the end of the show. But first, Lauren.
Yes, sir.
I have received a leaked copy of a possible match order from an insider at WWE for the WrestleMania 41 match order.
Okay.
Now, yeah, they asked to remain anonymous, so I respect that. I'm not going to disclose my sources here. I had been emailing somebody all week trying to get this information, and this is what they sent me. Don't know if it's correct. Could be complete bullshit. But I want to take a look at each night and get your perspective on 4 big questions I have after looking at this document. Number 1, how does this WrestleMania stack up against just the other WrestleManias that you can remember that you've watched? Number 2, which night are you more excited for?
Okay.
Number 3, which match on each night will steal the show? Not that you're excited for, but there's always that one match that steals kind of the spotlight, okay?
Yeah.
And then number 4, who were you surprised that was left off the card this year? Okay, so starting with night 1, this is according to my sources, this is what night 1 could look like.
Saturday, right?
Saturday night, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano starting the show, okay? Jade Cargill versus Naomi, night 1.
Okay.
The New Day versus the War Raiders on night 1. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu,
Yes.
night 1, okay? Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte, night 1. Gunther versus Jey Uso. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, closing out Saturday night.
All right.
You got that? That's locked in?
That was a lot, yes, but
All
I
right.
got it.
Night 2, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul opening the show.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest.
Okay.
Liv and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Okay? Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Finn Balor. Randy Orton versus still a mystery opponent. We don't know who this is. They did not give me that information.
All right.
All right? Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
And then ending out WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena.
All right.
This seems plausible to me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this is complete bullshit. Now, things can change. I'm sure this is not even set in stone. This is just what I was given. But let's start with the first question I had. In your opinion, how does this stack up against other WrestleManias you can remember? Now that we see the 14 matches in front of us.
Yeah. Like is it better, worse, or just kind of like
just gut feelings? Because I know from your perspective, you don't remember. You're not going to be able to go match for match on a WrestleMania card from the past.
I still don't know if there's just any besides like maybe the whole like what's it called? Roman and
Triple Threat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. But I don't know if I'm just like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this about any of them.
Sure.
To be honest.
Sure.
Like, that's my honest opinion.
So my perspective on this card is, if I look back, because I kind of took a peek at the last 2 WrestleManias, and I think what I came to kind of an understanding was we don't have the one big match this year. We don't have the Cody versus Roman that we've had in the past. Cena versus Cody, a lot of people are excited for this match, and I'm glad for those people. I'm not as invested in this, but I don't think most people would agree that this is not on the level of Cody versus Roman that we've got the last couple of years. What I do think, though, when you look at this card in its entirety, I think this is a better card from start to finish than we've seen at WrestleMania in a long time. And I think that will be solidified once Sunday night ends and we look back at the weekend. I think we'll look at it and go,
oh, that was good.
This was a good card from start to finish. I don't look at this card, night one or night two, and just go, there's absolutely something here that doesn't belong here. Liv and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria is probably the closest thing to me that stands out as something I go, I don't know why that's on the card.
Yeah.
But I understand because it's Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan has established herself as a must-see person in WWE. So I understand how Liv gets on the card. I don't know that I love the idea of Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. It still feels like Lyra Valkyria is being shoved down our throat, and Triple H is like, no, for real, guys, pay attention to her. We won't have an Intercontinental match, but we'll put her in the tag team title match. So I pretty much know for a fact Liv and Raquel are winning this match. Like, there's no question to me that like, you're not putting two belts on Lyra Valkyria at this point. So that's the match to me that stands out. But when I compare this to the WrestleManias of the past, overall, to me, this feels like a better card. Yeah. From start to finish. 14 matches. I talk about.
I think for my mind, I always remember the one big thing, and you're right. I don't have the one big thing for me this year.
And I've accused Triple H of booking that way. I a lot of times think Triple H has used the method of, if I give him one big piece of just ice cream and cake for dessert, they won't talk about what came before all of that. And I think in kind of an un-Triple H fashion, this card has ended out being
give you an amazing meal, so you enjoyed it all.
An appetizer, a main course, and a dessert, and it's all kind of balanced. If I go match for match, I'm excited for Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which I will tell you, I'm never excited for a Rey Mysterio match. That's not a knock on him. I just don't get excited for Rey Mysterio matches. But put him against El Grande Americano, great. I'm excited for that.
For sure.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Naomi has done a hell of a job in getting me invested into this, so I'm excited for that. The New Day versus the War Raiders is one a lot of people have questioned, but the New Day, this New Day, the new version of the New Day, they are enticing to me, and I think I would like them to win the tag team titles. I don't know if they will, but I think this will evolve their story and begin to create. There's been hints and things dropped at Big E, so it'll be interesting to see if somehow Big E comes into play in this match.
Yeah.
Feels like this could be a moment where we maybe see Big E. Big E costs them the match or something like that. It feels like there's more there to this for this to get on the card. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I'm a huge LA Knight person. I'm extremely high on Jacob Fatu. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte. I don't care what the drama is. I'm all in on this match. Gunther versus Jey Uso. I've expressed my disappointment with some of this, and then I've expressed how much I love what Gunther has done in the last couple of weeks to kind of turn it around, so I'm invested in that. And then this is my main event, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'd say
that's my main event of the weekend. That's what I'm most excited for. Yeah. So then you go AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. That's going to be good. I promise that's going to be good because Logan Paul he wrestles to the ability of his opponent, and AJ Styles has everything you need in the ring, so they're gonna put on a show.
I always make fun of AJ Styles because I say like I don't like him, but I don't know old AJ Styles. I don't dislike AJ.
Well, AJ's one of those guys that I say like he's an A in every category, not an A plus, but he's an A in every category, and he gets kind of knocked in my book for that. Because I like guys who have one category A plus, that I don't give shit about everything else. But AJ Styles is just an A across the board, which is phenomenal. he's the phenomenal one. That's
why they call him that. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. I'm always excited when Drew McIntyre's in the ring. We talked about Liv and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra. Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Finn. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I mean, I'm now invested in this idea that Dominic Mysterio will be the next Intercontinental Champion. I think it leads to the breakup of the Judgment Day. I think there's some wheels turning here that are gonna create some fun coming out of that Fatal 4-Way. Then we have Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent. The odds right now are saying it's Nick Aldis. These are the online odds are saying it's Nick Aldis. I still think it's going to be Solo Sikoa. I think Solo.
Anytime Randy is in the ring, it's a winning.
I'm with you. I know that's your guy, and I'm good with that. But I'm saying whoever the opponent is, that's going to be fine, right? Randy Orton is going to put on a show no matter what. Then Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. I'm invested in that. And then Cody and Cena. While it's not my main event, it's not lost upon me what this match is and what it could be, and the circus that could surround it with The Rock and Travis Scott and anything else. Like, this is the match where all hell could break loose WrestleMania weekend. So it's not lost on me. So when I go through, I'm like, there's not one match. In the past, there's been Omos matches, like Omos and Brock Lesnar, where I'm like, all right. I mean, I don't really have a bathroom break here. I'm going to have to slide off and sneak away to get my snacks and my bathroom breaks because I'm pretty invested in this. It'll be interesting after night one when we do an after show and we break down our thoughts. It'll be interesting to see what we say. But here we go. Now, looking at these two nights as I broke them down twice, which night are you more excited for in general?
I think night one, honestly. I think they have the cards a little more stacked. I'm actually excited for the Grande Americano. Surprisingly, I think it's going to be like tons of fun. And like I said, my main event is the one with Roman and everybody. I'm turning my watch off. It's being loud.
Okay. So my initial thought was night one. I was 100% with you. I said night one looks like it's weighted differently. But then I really look at this and I go, that may be an overreaction. Okay. Because when I really look, the potential of night two is scary. Okay. We know Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. We know what that's going to be. A little bit comedic, probably mask for mask when it's all over with. You assume Rey Mysterio wins that match, right? Jade Cargill and Naomi, while the build-up's been good, Jade's still got to get in the ring and perform. And so that has a possibility to go iffy. New Day War Raiders, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. We know what we're getting. We've seen variations of a lot of these matches, right? We don't know what Tiffany and Charlotte ends up looking like once we get to the actual match. The questions with night two are, could Logan and AJ Styles blow the roof off the building?
It's possible.
Right? I mean, two super athletic guys in the ring could be amazing, right?
For sure.
Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest both have motors, and they both have something to prove, and they both are guys who will beat the shit out of each other. And Drew McIntyre,
and they're big guys that can both move, which is good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they are the personification of pro wrestling. So that can be a huge match.
True.
Braun Breaker's going to put on a show, so that Fatal 4-Way could be good. You said Randy Orton is all you need, but if it's Nick Aldis and Randy Orton, that's something we never in a million years thought we were going to get.
What if it's Vince McMahon?
That does. Ain't gonna be Vince McMahon. But it could be Nick Aldis, and that would be interesting as hell because it's kind of the LA Knight thing, right? LA Knight went from manager to wrestler, and all of a sudden he became a fan favorite.
You told me Nick Aldis was actually a wrestler, right?
Yeah, he was a big-time wrestler in NWA. He's a big boy, too.
Did he come into WWE as not a wrestler? Has he ever actually
wrestled? They brought him over, not in WWE. Not that I know of he's wrestled in WWE. Okay, but maybe there was a pass, but not in his recent run. He came over and was immediately a general manager. But he's a big dude, Lauren. Like, under that suit, he's a big boy.
Okay.
Big old strong boy.
That actually could be pretty cool. I thought like he was a wrestler in WWE. And he was just old, and so then they decided to make him a manager. And
so then you have Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, which I think will be better than anybody's giving it credit for, because there's going to be elements of the mushing in the face and the story. So I think that ends up being better, and I have no idea who wins that match. which always gives me intrigue.
I know.
And then, like I said, Cody and Cena has the opportunity to be a shit show in the best of ways shit show. Like if The Rock is involved in some way, if Travis Scott is involved in some way, it has, what does John Cena do as a heel? Does he get real nasty and real dirty? It has the ability. So my initial reaction was night one. I was with you because of Punk, Rollins, and Reigns and seeing some of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
But I think night two, I think they've laid this out correctly. I think night one is great. And the fact that a lot of us are saying we're excited for it's great. But I think night two will just build upon the excitement of night one.
All right.
As far as I'm concerned. So when you look at these two cards,
okay,
you look at night one and night two.
Yeah.
Which match on each night do you think will steal the show? So not your most excited about.
Okay.
This is at the end of the night, we all go, man, I didn't foresee that being the best match of the night.
So Naomi was on night
that's
one.
That's night
right?
one.
I feel like that has the potential to be one of those moments that, like, damn, this for Jade Cargill is a big moment.
Sure.
Right?
Let's put up our shot.
Didn't expect that to come out of her. That's what I feel like could happen, right?
Okay.
Or it's the, dude, she shit the bed.
Yeah, sure.
It is the make
100%.
it or break it moment of everything, right?
Yeah, we could come out of this with an entirely different opinion of Jade Cargill because this is going to be the first time that she's in that ring by herself without Bianca Belair with the brightest of bright lights shining down on her.
Yeah.
So you're right. So that's a good call. My night one, I'm going to say Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair.
I think it's going to be amazing.
So I think, but I think that it's one of those things. They got the shit out of the tank. They got the pissing out of the pissing match out of the way.
Yeah.
And I think that Tiffany stepping up might have, in a weird way, woke Charlotte up and made her realize, oh, there's potential for this to be big now.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's a sleeper. I think we may come out of that thing going, Tiffany Stratton's the real deal.
The drama that happened actually made me excited for the match.
Sure.
That's why I still think it was I loved it. So yeah.
I still think it was a work. Charlotte's been involved in too many of these things for her not to recognize.
I don't know. She got kind of personal there.
Yeah, but who really cares? Like, at the end
I
of the day,
care. I wouldn't care either. I'd be like,
Charlotte's job is to sell a wrestling match. And there's no better way. Like,
Charlotte should have come back and said, yeah, I have 3 and you have 0.
Yeah, but I mean, let's not forget that the 2 weeks before this, the IWC was talking about this was the worst match on the card.
Yeah.
That this had given nothing, that this was a piece of shit.
I agree.
So I don't put it past Triple H, Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton to manufacture drama.
True.
So that, all right, now people are talking. All we got to do is talk about your divorce. I mean, divorces aren't really that fucking big of a deal.
No, it happens.
All right, night 2.
Well, you're stuck with me forever.
All right.
Okay, so night 2, I'm really excited. I think so Drew McIntyre and Tallboy, can't think of his name right
Priest.
now. Yes, I feel like that could be a really, really, really awesome match.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I don't know what to expect from them.
No, I think I think you hit the nail on the head. Look, both of these guys have something to prove.
Was that yours?
What's that?
Was that yours?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but I would not be shocked if we come out and you're correct. I'm going Logan Paul, AJ Styles. Yeah. Just because once again, they just, I feel like they have the ability. Logan's going to do something crazy.
He always does something crazy.
And I've seen some of these pre-renderings of what the WrestleMania stage could look like.
Okay.
It's multi-leveled almost.
Ooh, is he going to like jump off of something crazy?
Man, Logan wants to steal the show.
Yeah.
Logan's goal every time he steps out there is to have the moment that we're talking about when we leave. And I think Las Vegas, that adrenaline is going to be fucking pumping.
Why in my mind do I want him to be shot out of a cannon? Yeah.
Man, that's wild.
That would be pretty cool, right?
That's wild. He gets shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
His entrance.
I mean, that would be epic. But it has to be, what is his drink brand that he has?
Prime. It's a Prime cannon. It
had to be a Prime cannon, shaped like a freaking Prime bottle and just whoosh.
That's the other thing that we forget about with Logan Paul is most of his WrestleMania matches have an element of
Prime
promotion
involved.
for Prime. So who do we see? We've seen like iShowSpeed.
Yeah.
We've seen KSI. Mr. Beast. He's now partnered up with Mr. Beast. We can see Mr. Beast at WrestleMania.
Idea. I have no idea. But every time he comes on, there's definitely excitement. So.
All right. So then last question here is who are you surprised was left off this card?
For me, it's Chelsea Green.
I knew it.
She's my favorite person in the whole world, and I love her so much. So.
I just don't think she needs to be here. It doesn't surprise me because of so it's for all the reasons that we love Chelsea is why it doesn't surprise me. Mm-hmm. I just don't think she
doesn't need to defend anything
being a part of WrestleMania for her is fine. She can defend on the SmackDown or do whatever. She'll be a part of WrestleMania. Don't get it twisted. She will be.
I have a feeling she'll show up somehow
or
like make herself like maybe in the all girls match or something show up.
Yeah. No. I mean, I agree. She will be a part of the show in some way or form or fashion. So I don't discount that. I just don't know that Chelsea has to have a match in order to make
But that would be my only surprise.
Street Profits for me. Montez Ford.
Oh, shit.
They're the tag team champions, and you chose to do
that didn't even
the
cross
New
my
Day
mind.
and the War Raiders over the Street Profits, over this new version of the Street Profits that you've done a good job of marketing up until this point. You don't see a place for them on this. I don't know.
Fuck.
I really, really don't know. I mean, man, it's tough. When I look at this card, I don't know what you take off. I've heard people say you take Liv and Raquel off, but I don't think you can take spots off from those. Well, and so WWE is they're balancing this out with men's and women's matches. They don't want a night full of just all men's matches. Mm-hmm. That's not WWE style.
And the dudes want to see Liv Morgan.
Sure. So that's what I'm saying. So I mean, the only thing I could see replacing was the New Day versus the War Raiders with the Street. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how we spent the last 3 months building the SmackDown tag team division to have 5 credible teams.
Yeah.
And then we get to WrestleMania and we just go, all right, we won't use them. Mm-hmm. It's weird to me. That is a little bit weird to me. Expect to see them on Backlash or featured heavily after WrestleMania. But that to me was very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Lauren. Becky Lynch just told a live audience in Los Angeles that she is not wrestling anymore. Though she did add, maybe one day. This comes after months of speculation about her return, especially since she appeared in Netflix's promotion for the Monday Night Raw premiere in January. However, it seems she's been pursuing movie and TV roles, indicating that a shift in her focus has become more towards Hollywood. I do know that she's in the new Happy Gilmore movie. Mm-hmm. She beat out Kelly for that role.
Wow.
So, question for you.
Okay.
Is this a genuine, news story, classic retirement, or is this a swerve? Is Becky Lynch throwing us off the scent, and we're going to see her come back in the next couple of months to wrestling?
No, this is a swerve.
So you're saying swerve?
She swerved it, yes.
What?
Because it's Becky Lynch. She's not going to come out and tell us, hello, guys, I'm going to be there at WrestleMania.
Very true.
She needs to make an entrance. She's married to Seth Rollins, the number one entrance man in the world. You know what I mean?
Sure.
She does things big. She's not going to tell us. So, of course, if you ask me, I'd be like, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Just play it off real nonchalantly, I'm not wrestling anymore.
Well, I think you could be right.
We're going to see her. We're going to see her. I guarantee it.
There is something to be said, right? Uh-huh. She went home. She spent time with her child. Mm-hmm. She got a movie role. It could be very easy to fall in love with a lifestyle that doesn't require you. And how old is she?
She's 30-something.
Late 30s?
37 maybe?
Late 30s?
Yeah.
Do you just really want to take a beating night after night and go home beat up when you go home to your kid and shit like that? She has had a hell of a career. She has nothing left to prove.
Having a child later in life, if I had a kid now, I could imagine wanting to experience all those first with them. And there's a certain attachment that you grow, and not being able to do that because you are performing every night, I could imagine is hard. Yeah. As a mom.
I think genuinely, I think there's a little bit of truth to both things that she said. Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll ever see Becky Lynch as a full-time wrestler ever
So
again.
is she still under contract right now?
Don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I do not think so. I don't know that for sure, but I don't think so. I think her contract ran out and that she did not resign or anything. I think that when she gets the itch, she will come back. She will do one-off storylines. She will put people over. She will have stories, but I don't think we ever get to see a full Becky Lynch back invested in WWE again.
Sort of like how Trish Stratus comes every so often.
Sure. Like a Brock Lesnar, like a Trish Stratus, where, hey, you need me? Okay. I can show up. I can do this story. I can give you 2 to 3 months, but then I'm gone. Yeah. I'm back out. I'm not staying in. I'm not giving you year-long commitments. I'm not worried about WrestleMania. Or more so, I'll do WrestleMania, but I'm not doing the grind of 7 days a week.
True.
House shows and different. Like, you need me on a Monday Night Raw, I'm there, right?
Yeah.
So my husband's here, I'll show up. But for the most part, I'm going to be at home. I'm going to do this acting thing. Anytime a movie role comes along, I want to be free for that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
honestly.
an honest answer from her.
I thought she was still under contract.
No, she's not.
So
from as far as I know. Now, I could be completely wrong. She could have re-signed without it being announced or anything like that. But I think she's outside contract, and I know she's in the Happy Gilmore movie, which that comes out soon. I'm excited for soonish this year. So
we're gonna have a Happy Gilmore party.
Sure, I'm all good with having a Happy Gilmore party. But so that's my take on the Becky Lynch situation.
Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
So here we go again. All right, Kylie Rae and Gail Kim are online telling wrestling fans that they can't critique wrestling because they've never stepped into the ring themselves. I actually just got a what do you call it, TikTok stitch or whatever with somebody kind of telling me the same thing. This argument drives me nuts.
Kylie Rae?
Yeah.
And Gail Kim?
Gail Kim.
Okay.
They're
and
wrestlers.
so they both wrestled in WWE, yes or no?
At some point in time, Gail Kim in TNA more often than not. I think Kylie Rae is in the WWE ID program or something like that. But I can't believe we're still doing this argument. You don't have to be a 5-star chef in order to know if your food tastes like shit, okay?
I agree.
You don't have to play in the NFL to see when a quarterback's throwing a bad pass, but somehow these wrestlers think they're immune because I've never taken a bump or I've never cut a promo.
Yeah.
That I'm not allowed to have a critique in a sport that relies so heavily on audience participation. This to me is a huge problem with the sensitivity of wrestlers.
Why do they feel the need to say that?
It's a defense mechanism to somebody. I don't remember what the exact tweet was, but somebody took a shot at them.
First of all, I had to look up who the fuck they were. So
okay, but that's only you. You're making a joke. But Gail Kim is a legitimate wrestler.
Gail Kim was pretty.
Okay, but I mean, she was a legitimate wrestler. She was. But my problem is, I give a little bit of leadway to a professional athlete like a football player or a basketball player who says this, because I do understand that at the end of the day, they're playing a game, right? Wrestling is entertainment. We are the audience and an active participant. If we're not reacting, whether good or bad, then your story is boring or it's goofy. So we have every right to call out what we see. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It's audience feedback. You may not like the way it's presented to you, but you can choose to ignore it.
I forgot who I heard say that, like, it doesn't matter if they're booing me or cheering me, at least they're giving me something.
Sure. That's with everything. You just need to be in the minds of people. To me, what do they want? They want us to just sit there and like clap politely.
You did so good.
Yeah. That was. I didn't enjoy it, but let me clap for you. Sure, we've never done a suplex. And if somebody's constantly going online and going, well, your form on that suplex was terrible, that could get a little bit old.
Yeah.
But critiquing the overall product as it pertains to entertainment, come on, man, that's what we're here for. Like there's no other sport where the relationship between the audience and the people participating in the game, there's no other sport that's represented like professional wrestling where the relationship is symbiotic.
Yeah.
Like in basketball, I get it. Like there's still a winner of the game if nobody comes to watch. Mm-hmm. But if you wrestle in a building with no fans, what the fuck are you doing?
True.
That's not wrestling. Like there has to be at least one person there entertained by what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or you're like a kid in their bedroom wrestling their pillow. It's make believe.
And if the fans are saying they're not impressed or whatever, like maybe listen and then try to change something.
Let me see if I can bring up.
Because I'd like to know exactly what it was for the context of it. Yeah.
Of the tweet was here.
Because I think in anything, a critique isn't always a bad thing. You can use it to get better. It doesn't have to be just negative. While I do know that there's some people that are just assholes and just, feel like they know everything, but it is what it is. And you don't have to show it to me right now.
Well, I mean,
I can look it up.
It was in pertaining to, she just said, it wasn't in response, motherfuckers are way too comfortable criticizing wrestlers when they never even stepped foot in a ring. It was not in retaliation.
That's just...
She just wrote this, and then Gail Kim backed it up with facts. But no, I mean, so what? It wasn't even in retaliation to one thing. I get like being criticized builds up and builds up and builds up, but when you lash out, that just shows weakness. That shows that you can't. Being a person who podcasts on professional wrestling, people talk shit all the time, and I just laugh it off because like you're upset that I'm having fun. And you're upset that I have an audience who listens and respects what I say, and we have general conversation off of what I say. If that bothers you, then fuck you, right? The opinion of the wrestler should be, hey, look, I made it to the top levels of professional wrestling,
which
okay?
is a great accomplishment.
I'm obviously good enough to do this.
Yeah.
You can have your opinion. I don't agree with you, but to act like you can invalidate people's opinions is stupid.
Don't let it bother you.
Yeah. Speaking of people acting like children, Lauren, this is what I say. Like when grown-ups act like grown-ups, it's hilarious how different wrestling can be. Triple H just did an interview where he talked about having disagreements with CM Punk since his return to WWE. And instead of blowing up or playing backstage telephone, they've actually sat down and talked it out and worked like professionals when they've had creative differences. This is, to me, the ultimate difference in WWE and AEW. On one side, you have a group that has management that is acting like adults. And on the other side, you have what I can only equate to like a locker room full of theater kids who don't know. Nobody can lose. Nobody can have varying opinions. It's just everybody's whispering and side-eyeing and cutting each other off mid-promo. It's like Mean Girls in AEW. Yeah. There's cliques. There's hierarchies. Wrestling, at the end of the day, is a team sport, okay? You got to work together to accomplish a goal. I said this about Charlotte Flair. She fucked up. You didn't play like a team, and you almost cost your match at WrestleMania. Now, you've corrected the course, and it feels like you're back in line. But WWE, for the most part, and once again, that's another example of probably Triple H pulling Charlotte to the side and being like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, we don't do that here. You want to go over there, you can go wrestle for 400 people. But if you want to be here at WrestleMania where we do 2 nights of 80,000 people, then you're going to have to fall in line. It can't always be the Charlotte show. Mm-hmm. And I think in AEW, they don't understand that mentality. We have to give credit where credit is due. Triple H deserves his flowers, deserves a standing ovation. CM Punk is notoriously hard to work with. That is not lost on me.
Yeah.
He is a ego-driven person. That's what makes him so good at what he does. He believes he knows best at all times. I understand because I tend to have a lot of similarities in that attitude, that I just think I'm right and that I'm going to put my head down. And when people don't listen, there's an era of frustration.
But you'll admit when you're wrong.
Sure.
And if
when someone handles that,
when someone
handles that accordingly and goes, let's sit down, let's talk about it, let's figure out what you don't like. Typically, I can tell you from experience, the gap is not as big as you thought it was. It's just a few, oh, you don't like that part? Well, we were kind of questioning that part. We'll change that. Now you like the creative? You do? Cool. Boom. Problem solved. Show's improved. That's what it feels like to me. But it's weird in 2025 that the IWC has latched on to a company who basically is run using middle school clique tactics, right? This is who the IWC loves, and they worship Tony Khan and his tolerance for letting the inmates run the asylum. And then they sit around and talk shit constantly about the company
and each
that's
other.
run by like mature management. That doesn't make sense to me. That's the part that I struggle with, is why WWE is villainized so much by the IWC.
Look, I think people have different personalities, and for them to be like man enough to sit there and be able to talk to each other and like hash it out, it makes a world of difference. It's why he has been so successful in WWE versus his run over there.
Sure. That's exactly right. I mean, it is the difference in knowing that someone is volatile. Nobody's saying he gave in to him. No. Nobody's saying that Triple H is allowing CM Punk. That conversation, I guarantee you, was a give and take. Okay, I see you don't like this part, but just trust me, right? And now I hear what you don't like. Let's move that a little bit. Let's fix some of that stuff that's not working. And let's find a happy medium where we think this can work together, and let's go forward. And it looks like it's been successful up until now. Like CM Punk's run has been incredibly successful up until now. And I would guarantee you that it is a combination of him having the ability to voice opinions and of him also being treated like an adult, so that when things don't go his way, he at least feels heard. And if it doesn't work, he can come back and go, not fuck you, I told you so, but that's what I was talking about. Like that part of there, I don't feel like that's hitting.
That Tony Khan tries to avoid confrontation so much that is what allows oh no, I feel like he sometimes do you feel like that? Like he tries to avoid confrontation and then allows everybody just kind of do what they want.
So I've had basketball coaches at every level, high school, college, middle school, every level. I've had coaches who have the Tony Khan personality, and that is they tell everybody what they want to hear, right? Yeah. So you come, coach, I'm not getting enough shots. Well, you should shoot more. No, you should tell that guy you don't shoot very well. Don't shoot again, right?
Yeah.
In wrestling, I think that somebody comes with an idea to Tony Khan and he goes, sure, we'll do that. And then the Young Bucks come and they trump them in the hierarchy. And so they go, no, don't do that. Do what we want to do. And he goes, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
And so you have a bunch of guys who run around thinking, well, you said we were going to do it my way.
Yeah.
We're going to do it their way. And I think that's what pissed CM Punk off was CM Punk had a very clear vision for what he thought success looked like in AEW. And I think it started with Tony Khan going, yeah, I love these ideas. And then at some point, CM Punk caught a little bit of success. And the Young Bucks came in and they were like, Tony, you can't let him do that. He's changing what we have here. And it did become like Adam Page going into business for himself and the Young Bucks kind of sticking up for him and Punk going like, the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like this is a team game. We've got to build towards a goal. And you guys are all trying to undercut my legs. So then they moved him to Collision. He got Collision going. I was watching Collision, right?
Yeah, we were.
I was only watching Collision when it came to AEW because I thought, oh man, the presentation, CM Punk, it seems to be a very CM Punk driven show. And then all of a sudden the Young Bucks showed up and all these other people started showing up. I was like, oh, they saw success over here.
Now they
want to play on this playground because the cameras and the spotlight's on this one. That's what it always felt like. That's what it feels like. And it just feels like Tony Khan can never, at some point, he's got to look at somebody and go, no, just no, you can't do that. And he just never does that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Lauren, let's play a game of 10 questions.
Oh, yay.
You are 1-3. You're coming off of your first victory.
I forgot that I won last week.
You did win.
So
I dug into the barrel a little deeper today.
Oh man, I didn't even look at the
I'm not gonna give you a freebie coming off of. Damn it. Last week we made it a little easier. Okay. This week we crank it. We turned it back. Wouldn't say this is hard mode.
All right. Okay.
I'd say we went from easy last week to we're in the middle. It's medium. This is a medium mode. Go ahead and begin. 10 questions. Okay. Go.
We're starting off with the number one question. I felt like doing that. Sorry. Is it a boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I know is harder.
All right. Question 2.
Sure.
Do they have long hair? So remember, we had this conversation. If they like longer, if they have the shavy thingies, what is it called? Not a taper. The buzzies.
This is tough.
What are they called? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. You called it a fadey.
A fadey. A fadies. Do they have the fadies?
So are you? If you ask if they have a fadey, they don't have a fadey.
Okay, so like short hair means like here, the nape of your neck, right? Is it longer than the nape of your neck?
Are you asking if their hair goes past their neck?
Yes.
No.
The nape of their neck.
Okay, the nape of the neck.
The nape of the neck.
Okay. No.
So they have short hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may fight me, but yeah.
Okay, so it's not a Viking Raider. That's who I thought it was. That's what I thought in my mind. Okay. So it's a boy, short hair. Are they white?
No, that's 3.
Are they Mexican?
Yes. No.
Okay, so Mexican, are they of brown descent of the Latino, Latinx, whatever?
Yes. Yes, that's 4.
Do they wear a mask?
No, that's 5.
All right, so it's not Penta. I think that was 4. But
5.
We'll go with it.
I'm keeping count.
All right, it's not Penta. It's not Rey Mysterio.
Uh-huh.
Are they part of a tag team?
Like an officially named tag team?
So are they part of a group of people?
Yes. 4 questions left.
Did they used to be like considered brothers? Like were they part of a group where they were brothers before?
I'm going to say no. Cuz even if I don't remember something, but you wouldn't remember, like if it was a yes, you wouldn't remember it.
So they're not Los Lotharios?
Okay, yeah, no.
Okay. All right, so they're Mexican-ish. Do they have curly hair?
Yes.
Okay.
You have all the information you need now with 2 questions to go.
I don't know if this person's still in wrestling. Okay, so like, does the name start with a C?
Yes.
Is it Carlito?
It is.
Whoa! 2 for 2, bitches! 2 for 2!
It's not 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
You're 2 and 3 is your record.
Hey, I just
You're
wanted
2 in a
again.
row. 2 in a row. Back to back.
Tic-tac-toe.
You're back to back.
3 in a row, whatever.
Nope, it's not 3 in a row. You're not a 3-peat.
Tic-tac-toe would be 3 in a row. I'm saying I said tic-tac-toe 2 in a row.
You're 2 in a row. Impressive.
I did it.
Impressive. Didn't think you were getting there.
I didn't think I was getting there either.
So my chat can help me out on this. At one time, Carlito and I think Primo might have been posed as
I wouldn't have known that.
Either brothers or cousins.
I thought that it was
Los
Lotharios brothers, but I wouldn't have known their names. I wouldn't know who either one was.
Gotcha.
But yes.
No, so that's
Side
why.
note,
I
on like girl wrestling talk or whatever, Penta. They showed like Penta unmasked, and I guess he's like a good-looking. I don't know what he is, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever. But I guess all these girls like are in love with Penta.
Really? Didn't know that.
Now you know.
Not supposed to have his mask off. It's big no. Not supposed to show you something.
I mean, I don't know if that's what he really looks like, but I just.
Let's talk. Let's have a different conversation, okay? Because we're done with the real talk here. Now we are now in overtime. Okay. And overtime is usually only supposed to take us to 45 minutes. We have 1 minute, but we can have this conversation.
Okay.
You're in a fucked up TikTok algorithm because you constantly give me information that is incorrect, like just wildly incorrect.
I know.
You told me something earlier today that was just wildly incorrect.
Oh, about wrestling, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know who like gives me this information.
You're clearly in an algorithm of liars.
They do lie to me. They lie to me all the time. And I come to me like, Dustin, did you know this? And you're like, nope, that's not true.
You might have told me something.
Was it about one of the matches or something?
No, it wasn't even about wrestling. You told me something like about somebody getting arrested in the United States for a speech or something like that. It was something weird. It was real weird. It was something that was not true.
Probably. Lots of things. You know, sometimes I have to say, like, did that really happen? Or, you know, was that TikTok?
Yeah. You're not.
You never know.
You're not in the wrestling algorithm that I'm in. Because the
But
wrestling algorithm
question,
I'm in.
like, people know what the luchadors look like without their mask on, right? Like, how do you really know? Like, how do I really know that that's what Penta looks like?
Wait, who's people?
Like, so, like,
I mean, they're supposed to stay hidden. You're not supposed to know.
But we know what Rey Mysterio looks like.
He wrestled for a while without the mask, I believe.
Okay, but like in real life, you've seen him like in real life.
Sure.
You know,
but
social media, I think, has broken that.
I think authentic, like, wrestler.
So are there like real like
luchas,
luchadors that people have no idea what their face looks like?
I believe so. I believe that is the goal of the lucha style. Is like it's extremely disrespectful. Like you'll see, like if their mask gets pulled off in the ring, they hide.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd like to know: is there an actual luchador that like people have never seen their face, even like on social media, stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe
that would be interesting.
Probably.
I'd like to know.
Someone will let you know.
Inform me.
Sure. I don't. Before we get out of here, did you see the Rhea Ripley picture that the Discord went crazy, the internet went crazy, everybody's gone crazy? Rhea Ripley.
Yes, you did. You showed it to me.
Showed it to you.
She's
no
beautiful.
Makeup. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
she's definitely
so
a pretty girl. She's definitely somebody whose her character work is so good because you talk about the opposite of like relying on her looks. I think she almost goes the opposite way and plays a character that is less attractive than.
Don't know if you told me or where I heard this, but that like she had talked about how she was like a blonde hair, blue eye, just like typical girl, and she had to change everything. But I mean, it's crazy what makeup does both ways. You know, it can make you look prettier.
What I think is hilarious, the part to me. So a couple weeks ago, Mickey James, who's one of the coaches on that LFG show. You know what I'm talking about?
Little fucking Giants?
Nope, that's not what it's called. It's LFG where
I know what it is.
Legends and Future, something like that. And she went off on this one girl who wrestled and was like, you just have on lingerie and your butt's hanging out. And basically we worked so hard for so long to break all these stereotypes. And then here you are. Right. And now you have Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler who are mirroring that same sentiment, even though I get the feeling that Shayna and Zoe are in character. Yeah. And if they're playing a character like that, that will be good and funny.
Yeah.
But I find it funny that like after that, this is what Liv Morgan does because, and nobody says anything, right?
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Sorry. Liv Morgan was on my mind because Shayna Baszler, and then we're talking about Liv Morgan turning wrestling into a porn business. Is what they tried to portray. I think it's in character.
Okay, yeah, but
I think it's in character.
But like, hello, all of them do it. Like, they all show off their goodies. That's what, well, guys are watching the show.
Shayna Baszler said fuck it and was wearing jeans on Monday Night Raw, I think.
Oh, well, okay.
And a t-shirt. So,
you know?
Yeah.
Well, what was the name that y'all had for their group?
The Stud Line.
The Stud Line.
Stud Line.
The Stud Line.
Sonya Deville's no longer there, so the Stud Line doesn't exist anymore.
No.
But I say, like, number one, Zoe Stark's outfit is pretty risque. It's not as somebody's, but like it's still in the same level. But I just find it funny that none of them will say this shit to Rhea Ripley.
No,
they won't speak. They won't talk this shit because Rhea Ripley will slap the shit out of them.
Have you seen her like how muscular her thighs are? Like she put you in a headlock, you'd probably die.
I get the feeling Rhea Ripley could fuck some shit up in real life. She was at UFC this past Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, she was watching her buddy Volkanovski, who's a badass too. I get the feeling these Australian motherfuckers can fight.
They fight kangaroos all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You got to. If you're out there on the mean streets with the kangaroos, I know I could whoop a kangaroo's ass.
They steal your dogs. They got to protect their dogs.
Yeah, so if I know I could kick a kangaroo's ass, I know the Australian dudes over there and Rhea Ripley are just slapping the shit out of kangaroos left and right. Exactly. That's happening, no problem.
For sure.
But that's a wrap for today, Lauren. We broke down which night of WrestleMania will be the better card. We broke down the status of Becky Lynch's career. And we saw or talked about how Rhea Ripley broke the internet. Make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know your pick for best WrestleMania night. New merch is now live on casualwrestling.com/store. So go check that out. There's some hats. There's some new hoodies. There's some new t-shirts. There's a water bottle. There's something else. I don't know. Go check it out. There'll be stuff there. But I'm the Notorious Dirty D. That is Level Up, Lauren. This was CWCD. Stay loud, stay loyal, stay casual. Lauren, ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.